Joining me now to discuss is former New York City mayoral candidate, as well as WABC radio host and founder of the Guardian Angels, the one, the only, the legendary Curtis Sliwa. Thank you so much for being with us tonight.
And by the way, my expertise is I have put many a thug in a headlock and a chokehold over the years, holding them down until the police arrive. Sometimes 15, 20 minutes. You can't let them loose. You have no idea what they might do, what kind of weapons they may have hidden on them. They can turn on you. They can turn on other people. So the moment you make that decision to move in, you have to detain them until the police arrive.
Jordan Neely, clearly mentally ill. His own family members have been saying this. He was arrested 40 times. One of the arrests, he tried to kidnap a 7-year-old child. He fractured an elderly person by punching them in the face. There was a report that just the night before, he tried to push someone on the train tracks. And this Marine said that he was going around threatening to kill people on the train. Elderly women were afraid for their lives, and children. He stepped in, restrained him, he says, for only a couple of minutes. Now he is charged with manslaughter in the second degree, faces 15 years. A grand jury indicted him, and people say out there, well, how could a grand jury indict this guy? They just need to talk to the other passengers. But my guess is DA Bragg didn't have those other passengers whose lives he saved. You know DA Bragg all too well. Oh,
there's no doubt about it that he basically steered the grand jury in the direction that he wanted to because of his influencers. You know how we have Instagram influencers? He has his influences. The moment that this case took place, Al Slim Shady Sharpton, his mentor, he acknowledges, called him up, said, I want a murder rap over his head. And those two good Samaritans, they're bad Samaritans. I want them charged with murder too. And then remember, back to back, belly to belly, AOC all out crazy. She called it first. She says it's an execution. Next day, she ratchets it up, says it's a lynching. Next day, she says, oh my God, this guy has got to be charged with murder. So he's getting all this pressure. And then, you know, George Soros, his Medici, calls up, said, hey, Bragg, I didn't give you $1 million to be letting white vigilantes out on this kind of charge. It's all about color. If this were white on white, black on black, you wouldn't see any attention paid to this case whatsoever. It's all about the white individual who happened to be a Marine coming to the aid of the passengers in distress and dealing with a problem that the city and the state refused to. Why is an emotionally disturbed person living in the subways continuing to commit crime? We can't blame the Marine for that or the passengers. That's the job of the mayor who's not doing his job, and the what I call Kathy Crime Wave Holcomb, the governor, who is in charge of the MTA, which is a money-taking agency.
Right. I highly doubt that this guy paid the fare when he got onto the subway in the first place. The city had at least 40 times to force him to get clearly the mental help that he so desperately that he needed. Now, there were two other passengers, right, that helped Daniel Penny hold this guy down. They were not white. They've also not been charged. Do you think that's a coincidence?
No. They are looking for these good Samaritans. There's no doubt about it.
They can't find them?
Well, they're smart enough to know. Stay out of sight, out of mind. I'm sure they've reached out to Thomas Kniff, who's the great attorney who's defending this hero Marine. I know Thomas. He ran for borough president as a Republican. I ran for mayor. We campaigned side by side. He would have been a great DA. And hopefully, when all is said and done, Thomas reconsiders and next time out takes on Alvin Bragg, because now we'll have a classic heavyweight DA battle. The DA who turns criminals loose, Alvin Bragg, and locks up Good Samaritans, and obviously Thomas Kniff, who defends the Good Samaritans and those that intervene.
We have a minute left. Does Daniel Penny stand a chance against a New York City jury to be found not guilty?
Oh, yeah. Remember, you've got to get all 12 jurors to agree to convict him. Let's take it back to the subway gunman, Bernard Goetz, 1984. He used a gun. He shot them 5 times, and he was able to beat the most serious charges, the only one they found him guilty of, which is possession of an illegal handgun. And he hasn't been in trouble since. This jury, whoever is impaneled, will not find this hero Marine guilty. No way. Although, notice, in the interim, the aunt is suing Daniel Penny.
Wow.
On behalf of the state of Jordan Neely, even though she's admitted that her nephew was smoking K2 every day. Where's the toxicology report?
Agreed. Where is the toxicology report? Because if it is true that he was only being held for a few minutes, then maybe the toxicology report, the drugs that he clearly had in his system, maybe they compromised his airwaves, and maybe that's why he's dead and not the chokehold.
Now, Lydia, it's all about the money. It's all about the liars for hire, the attorneys putting their beak in the trough, getting a third, and this family that is dysfunctional. Look at the uncle. He was arrested 3 times in a month and cut loose. He steals pocketbooks at the Port Authority. He has credit cards with no name on it. He kites checks. He is a jostler and a pickpocket, and he's the spokesperson for the family, like uncle, like nephew.
Curtis Sliwa, thank you so much for being with us. Always enjoyable and entertaining.
My pleasure.